In a once bygone era of Fortnite existed limited time modes, also known as LTMs. During the golden years of Fortnite, alternate playlists that offered new and exciting ways to play the game rotated in and out weekly. However, sometime around 2022, LTMs became a much less frequent occurrence in the game rotations of Fortnite, and now in the modern era, they have vanished completely. This is a history of Fortnite LTMs, detailing their rise and fall. When Fortnite launched, it only had the standard playlist of solos, duos, and squads, and fortunately, due to the novelty of the game, players were content with this. But Epic Games were innovators in the industry and wanted to be more than just a standard battle royale game. This would culminate in Epic releasing their first limited time mode in December of 2017. 50v50 was as simple as the name made it out to be. Rather than 100 players separately fighting to be the last standing, two teams of 50 players would work together to eliminate all other 50 players on the opposing side, and immediately on its release, it was a big hit. While it played nothing like the base builder tower defense Epic envisioned, players still found it fun. The change of pace from the normally intense gameplay of Fortnite was much welcome for the fanbase. Players enjoyed how laid-back 50v50 felt opposed to other modes. Seeing this, Epic knew they struck gold and would continue on releasing LTMs. Over the span of Season 2, Epic released 3 brand new LTMs, this time focused on keeping to the core Battle Royale mode instead of 50v50. The first of these LTMs was High Explosives, released on December 23rd along with the Boogie Bomb. High Explosives limited all weaponry to just rocket launchers, grenade launchers, and throwable grenades. Next in line was Sneaky Silencers, which released along with the Silence Pistol in January. The LTM limited the weapon pool to just silence guns and increase the spawn rate of the bush. And finally for Season 2 was Sniper Shootout, which limited weapons to just snipers and revolvers. All of these modes were beloved by players and set the tone for LTMs going forward. Everyone was content with them. Epic Games loved the newfound community participation and even held challenges to see who could get the best clips in these LTMs for some Fortnite merch, leading to some iconic clips that defined early day Fortnite, such as Ninja's revolver clutch. And it is clear that the possibilities for LTM playlists were infinite for Fortnite. Over time, more and more LTMs were added. Solid Gold and Blitz in Season 3, Close Encounters in Season 4, Wild West in Season 6.
Take this, Reddit! The 6-shooter is sick!
And even community suggestions such as Unvaulted mode in Season 7. But this is only the beginning for LTMs. As stated earlier, the possibilities were endless and Epic knew this, so they began to use LTMs as a way to test new game features, and this would change Fortnite forever. Like how you guys can change my subscriber count by liking and subscribing if you so wish. Because LTMs were purely experimental, Epic could test new ideas for the future of Fortnite within them. The first time Epic did this was actually all the way back in Season 2, with the long-forgotten Shooting Test LTM. This LTM was a huge change for Fortnite at the time. Mainly, guns had recoil and first shot accuracy, headshot multipliers were reduced, and almost all weapons were given fall-off damage. These changes were pretty radical for the time, with much debate around them. Many players supported the changes, saying that Bloom was annoying and the game was long overdue for an overhaul to its shooting mechanics, while people who opposed it just generally didn't like how radical of a change it was, as well as saying it was bad for controllers. The LTM was eventually removed, but in mid-Season 3, some of the changes such as first shot accuracy and fall-off damage would come to the live game, and while it was controversial at the time, this was no doubt the right move. Seeing the success of the Shooting Test LTM, Epic began to look elsewhere. Since the game launched, players have been begging Epic to add some kind of practice mode, one where you could train your building and aiming in a controlled environment with or without others. Up until Season 4, most players just dropped into Wailing Woods, farmed max materials, and just prayed nobody else was around to ruin their building practice. But in Season 4, Epic changed the game forever with the debut of Playground mode. Upon its release, it was an instant hit, being so loved that it literally crashed the servers and Epic had to delay the LTM another week to sort out the server issues. But once players could hop back into it, it was exactly what they wanted. Increased material farming, increased loot, and 100 llama spawns on the map. This allowed players to finally practice on their own or just goof around with friends in the private lobby. Upon its release, professional players immediately began to utilize Playground mode to do 1v1s, and this is where the game saw its first significant jump in skill. Mechanical legends of the past such as Jalmok and Giganza would make names for themselves with their insane mechanics, and this came just in time for the first ever tournaments of Fortnite, which were in LTMs as well. In May of 2018, Epic held a completely online tournament known as the Solo Showdown, which allowed you to play 50 matches with your stats being tracked across all of them. High performers would be awarded V-Bucks and a chance to be invited to future tournaments. The mode was a huge success, with Epic subsequently hosting the Blitz Showdown, which utilized the same concept in the Blitz LTM instead. The faster-paced gameplay of Blitz would later inspire features that built the foundation of competitive Fortnite later on. LTMs weren't just used to test new gameplay features though, as they were also used to spice up collaborative content as well. In Season 4, Fortnite collaborated with Marvel and brought Thanos into Fortnite as a playable character in the new limited time mode. In the LTM, Thanos' gauntlet spawned at a random spot on the map, and whoever picked it up got to play as Thanos in a regular Fortnite lobby. While it was extremely overpowered, nobody cared, and to this day, the original Thanos LTM is remembered as the turning point of Fortnite, from a simple video game to the mainstream Goliath it would come to be. And going into 2019, LTMs in Fortnite saw their absolute peak. In December, Epic ran the 14 Days of Fortnite event. Each and every day from December 19th of 2018 to January 2nd of the next year, a new LTM would be cycled in every single day. This event saw the return of old classics such as Sniper Shootout and Close Encounters, but the event also saw the debut of many new LTMs, some of which changed Fortnite forever. The first of these LTMs was One Shot, which is a unique take on Sniper Shootout. Snipers were the only weapon, but now every player's HP was set to 50, meaning getting hit was instant death. This, along with the heavily increased mobility, created for some very intense but rewarding gameplay. The next of these new game-changing LTMs was Gun Game. Many don't remember this LTM, but it was actually the precursor to Zero Build. Materials were heavily limited in Gun Game, meaning almost no building was allowed. While the reviews are mixed due to the map not being designed for Zero Builds, many saw the potential in the mode, and it was likely that this is what motivated Epic to release Zero Build later down the line. And the last of these LTMs was Siphon. The Siphon LTM was a simple, kill a player, get health and materials in exchange. Players loved this mode, with no shortage of pro players exclusively playing solo squads in order to get the highest kill games possible. Because of its insane success, Epic would later on enable Siphon as a feature in all playlists, and the short 2-month period in early 2019 that Siphon was enabled in all modes was one of the most beloved times in Fortnite history. However, despite all the good that came out of Season 7 LTMs, it would ironically spell the downfall of LTM game modes as well. Along with all the great that came with Season 7 and the 14 Days of Fortnite event, also came Creative Mode. Now on paper, Creative Mode was great. It was an upgrade to Playground Mode that not only allowed players to practice their mechanics, but also construct their own versions of Fortnite. Death runs, 1v1 maps, and free-for-alls. The possibilities were endless, and for a while, Creative Mode existed in harmony with LTMs. 50v50 was repurposed into the Team Rumble LTM and became a permanent mode in Season 8. Also in Season 8, Epic once again collaborated with Avengers, and along with it came a mode where you can not only play as Thanos, but also play with specialized Avengers weapons as well. In Season 9, we got the Wix Bounty LTM, which is a unique spin on Battle Royale where you won by accumulating a high bounty as opposed to strictly being the last man standing. And there was all of these modes that would sustain the community through some of its toughest times, such as the Chapter 2 Season 1 content drought. But in Chapter 2 Season 6, Epic released the last ever official LTM in Battle Royale, Impossible Escape. From that point onward, Epic just stopped putting in the effort for LTMs. They would release here and there, but nowhere near the weekly schedule they once did, and from that point on, most LTMs released were just lazy spins on Team Rumble, such as Solid Gold Team Rumble or One Shot Team Rumble. Not only were players dissatisfied with all the unoriginal ideas, but players also hated Team Rumble as a whole. Many players cite how Team Rumble's gameplay loop just wasn't satisfying. Kills weren't as rewarding as 50v50, but the worst was yet to come. Sometime around 2022, LTMs just vanished completely, with no word from Epic whatsoever, and over the years, players have began to take notice. While there are no official answers, the very likely reason is simply that Creative Mode and now UEFN exists. Epic knows they can just outsource the creation of unique game modes to creative map makers, instead of putting in the effort to make their own. The problem with that though is that Creative Mode just doesn't suffice. Due to the monetary incentives of creative, nobody ever branches out and tries something truly unique. 90% of the maps are just red versus blue, the pit, or 1v1 maps. Players don't want more bland team deathmatch modes, they already have Team Rumble. Players want game modes with actual charm, and unfortunately, it doesn't seem like Epic is willing to budge anytime soon. Despite revolutionizing the game in many ways and contributing to its everlasting legacy, LTMs have been entirely neglected by Epic, which is just an unfortunate reality that many have had to accept. If you enjoyed this video, then check out my second channel linked below, or the other videos on your screen now.